I am going to start you from standing today. So coming to a comfortable standing position anywhere on your mat to begin. So it doesn't matter whether you're facing me or you're facing to the side. Try to find a stance that allows you to bring equal weight into both of your feet. And if you were to kind of shift the weight back and forth from the heels to the balls of your feet, you should be able to feel the entire heel centered on the floor. It's kind of the weight towards the middle of the heel itself, and then weight across the ball mound of your foot. So you should be able to feel weight from the big toe mound to the small toe mound on each of your feet. Try pressing your feet into the mat and just gently lifting up your toes, and that'll help to kind of center the weight in the feet, but it's also going to engage your inner arches, sort of lift the arches, lift the ankles, and then from there, set the toes back down and see if you can find that same weight across the ball mound of the foot. Depending on your hip to knee to foot alignment, your feet might be hips width distance apart and completely parallel. They might be a little wider than hips width distance apart, or they might be together. So you want to find also a stance where your knees can kind of track towards the center of your feet. If I bring my feet completely parallel at hips width distance apart, my kneecaps will have a tendency to roll inwards, and then it's actually really uncomfortable for my knees and my hips. So I'm a little wider than hips width distance apart, and because of the structure of my left foot turns out slightly. If I were to bring my feet all the way together, I can keep my feet parallel and it's a little more comfortable. So decide what stance feels best to you. Try to have a softened knee just so that you're not locking out the kneecap. Engage glutes, and we're going to find some engagement in the legs. From here, just kind of give your shoulders a little bit of movement, little roll out of the neck, maybe a couple up rolls, up, back, and down. You might even keep wiggling out the toes, lifting, setting them back down. So just finding a comfortable but firm stance here. Then we're going to find our mountain pose. Rotate your palms so they're facing forwards out in front of you. So allow the shoulders to externally rotate, heads of the shoulders to move backwards, shoulder blades to descend downwards. Take a deep breath in and take a long breath out. Next inhale, we'll circle your arms, taking them out wide, palms facing upwards as you bring the palms in. And then as you exhale, rotate your palms and press them down. So as the palms come towards the hips, they're facing the hips themselves. Again, rotate the palms upwards. Inhale, lift as if you were lifting bags of sand. And then exhale, rotate palms back down towards the floor. We'll do two more like that. Just gonna starting to warm up the shoulders, warm up the arms, a little bit into the neck. Exhale. Good, one more time. Inhale. And this time we'll inhale, lift the arms. But as you exhale, the palms lifted, bring your arms about halfway down so they're in line with your shoulders. Turn your palms to face forwards as if you have wings for arms. And then on your next inhale, press the arms back towards the wall behind you as you press your heart forwards. On your exhale, gently round the upper body, round the arms as if you were wrapping your arms around a really big tree. Again, inhale, open, lift the heart, lift the chest, spread your wings. And then again, exhale. Let the upper back round, chin will come to the chest, elbows are soft. Two more like that. Inhale, open. Good, and exhale, close. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good, this time you'll inhale, open your arms, spread your wings. As you exhale, you'll cross your right arm over the top of your left. From here, squeeze inwards from the armpits, insides of the arms, and then let the elbows soften until you can place your palms at either shoulder. Think about walking the fingertips back towards the edges of your shoulder blades as much as it's comfortable for your shoulders. And then for a little bit more, lift the elbows about in line with the shoulders themselves. Imagine your palms were spreading the shoulder blades apart to open the back side. Take a deep inhale and a long exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, open the arms. We'll reverse. As you exhale, now left over the top of right, squeeze inwards from the armpits. Soften the elbows, palms to the shoulders. Again, walking your fingertips back towards the edges of your shoulders blades as much as it's comfortable and safe for your shoulders. And then that sensation of the palms spreading the shoulder blades apart as you lift the elbow about level with the shoulders. Deep breath in and long breath out. One more, big inhale and long exhale. Good, this time inhale, open your arms. As you exhale, simply let the palms float back down to your mountain pose, palms pressing forwards. Again, once more, we'll inhale, circle your arms. This time, interlace your fingers above your head, flip the palms and press your palms towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. As you exhale, take a little side bend to your right, reaching the palms towards the wall on the right side of the room. For a little more, you can soften a bit more into the knees. Good, inhale, come back up. And now take the palms forwards. Again, let the back round, really press your palms towards me. Good, inhale, lift the arms back up. And now exhale to your left. For a little more, soften into both knees and keep pressing the palms to the left wall. Good, inhale, arms up. Now as you exhale, release the hands once again, return to your mountain pose. One more time, inhale, circle your arms. As you exhale, let the arms reopen to a T. Deep inhale, press the palms back. This time as you exhale, we're going to fold hands over the heart. Left palm on the bottom, right palm on top. Soften the elbows and shoulders. Soften your gaze down towards the floor. If comfortable, allow your eyes to close. And we'll take just a few breaths here to move inwards. Notice the sensation of your breath against your palms. The expansion and contraction of your chest, the subtle rise and fall of your shoulders, maybe the gentle beat of your heart. Feel the weight of palm against palm. And begin to slow, even out, lengthen each breath in and each breath out. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Let the palms once more drift away from your body, back to your mountain pose. Give yourself another little rock back and forth on the feet. Warming up the feet now a little bit more. Start to pick up and lay down your toes. Maybe even give them a wiggle as they're lifted. Just letting the weight steadily rock back and forth. Couple more times here. Good. From here, we're going to place your hands at your hips. We're going to play with lifting and lowering the heels a couple of times. Kind of shifting our balance. So as you inhale, try lifting the heels. Just notice where the weight settles across the ball of the foot. And then as you exhale, slowly lower the heels back down. Notice if you immediately dump the weight back into the heels and feel your whole body shift back, see if you can stay towards center as you lift and lower. So we'll inhale, notice if the weight wants to rock forwards as you lift the heels. And then exhale, slowly lower the heels without the urge to let the weight roll back. Two more like that. We'll inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. Good, one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now add some arm movement now. As you inhale, circle your arms. Try to lift the heels. You go upwards towards the ceiling. Good, exhale, lower the heels, lower the arms as the palms come back down to the hips. We're gonna do that twice more. Inhale, lift the heels, lift the arms, reach high. And exhale, heels down, hands down. Good, one more time. Inhale. And give the body a quick shake out. From here, we're going to begin to flow, move a little more. So stepping towards the top of your mat. Again, coming to your comfortable stance, whether that's hips width distance apart, little wider, or feet together. Again, do what feels most natural for your alignment. We're going to start with a couple half sun salutations to warm up a bit more of the body here. Back into your mountain pose. Next, inhale, circle your arms overhead. As you exhale, we're going to first forward fold. Really soften the knees. Hinge forwards, folding from the hips. Reach out and down as if you were trying to reach past your knees. You might lower your hands to blocks. They might come to your shins or thighs. Or if accessible, you might let the fingertips come to the earth. Let your head fall heavy. Maybe give yourself a nod, yes, no, little shake out of the head. You can even walk out the feet, bending one knee, straighten the other leg, letting the hips shift a little up and down. Your next inhale, we'll find a halfway lift. Soften both knees, bring your hands up to your knees. Try to flatten the spine, heart reaching forward, belly pulling in. Take an exhale there. Next inhale will come up to stand, using the weight of your feet, legs, glutes, palms down beside you. We'll do one more, moving a little more, taking it a bit faster with the breath. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, reach out, hinge forwards from the hips, going out and down, hands to the blocks, shins, knees, or floor. Inhale, up to your half lift. This time you'll refold. Exhale, belly over thighs, head, shoulders fall heavy. Press the feet into the floor, engaging glutes and legs. Inhale, circle your arms this time as you lead with the heart, coming up to stand, reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, connecting palms to chest. Good, again, inhale, circle your arms. Now as you exhale, forward fold, reaching out to go down. Inhale, halfway lift, chest forward. This time as you exhale, we're going to find your first lunge. Take a big bend into both knees. Hands might come to blocks or the mat. Your left foot will take a big step back behind you until you're in a nice long lunge on your right side. Right knee over right ankle. And then from there, set the left knee down. Feel free to set a blanket or a pillow underneath your left knee, or even double up your mat for a little extra padding. From here, you're going to bring your right hand onto your right knee, your left hand on top. Press the thigh down and away, and slowly start to lift your chest until your shoulders are over your hips. Keep pressing the thigh down and away until you feel the spine start to lengthen upwards and the shoulders draw down. Take another full deep breath in and long breath out. On your next inhale, you'll start by circling your left arm over your head, then the right arm. One full breath in Anjaneyasana. Imagine you are drawing your right heel towards your left knee towards your right heel. So you keep the inner thighs engaged and use that engagement to go upwards. Deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to slowly fold forwards, bringing your heart over your thighs. From here, step your right foot back to meet your left, or your right knee back to meet your left. We're going to find tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees hips width distance apart. And for this first one, your choice of toes tucked or untucked. Do what feels best for your back today. On your next inhale, find your cow pose. Wrap your elbows back, Eyes of the elbows facing forwards, heart forwards, belly down, tail up. As you exhale, start to press the floor away from you. Tuck your tail, roll upwards through the spine, chin to chest, heart to ceiling. Again, inhale, gazing forwards, heart pulling forwards, belly down, tail up. And then again, exhale, tuck and round, finding cat. 3 more here. Inhale. And exhale. 2. 1 more. Good. Your next inhale, we're going to find a neutral pose in the spine, flat back, and start to walk your knees out about the width of your yoga mat. If this at any point is too much for the knees, you can keep them a little more narrow towards each other. And you can also keep your hips more forwards over your knees. So we're going to come to kind of a very wide knee child's pose, or even a little bit of a frog pose in the low body. So knees nice and wide. You can also keep the feet a little more inwards if that feels safe, or bring the feet back in line with the knees. From here, we're going to come to a shoulder stretch. So you're going to bring your weight into your left hand, pressing down into the left palm, reach your right arm out. If accessible, take it up to the ceiling. Your next exhale, take your right arm underneath your left, and we're going to try to lower the right ear and right shoulder to the floor. Knees are nice and wide, and if accessible, you might untuck your toes, press the hips further back towards the heels, as if you were in a really wide knee child's pose. If that does not allow the right shoulder to come to the floor, then again, keep the hips more forwards until you can bring your right ear and shoulder to the mat, or maybe even a block or a blanket. Left fingertips are there to help to increase the stretch. You can press down into the left fingertips, press the floor away, so you start to roll yourself a little more towards the back of your right shoulder. I'm going to take 4 more breaths here. Good. Placing the left palm on the mat. Use your left palm, press down as you inhale. Begin to unwind. You'll slowly lift the right shoulder, right arm out or up. And then exhale, right palm back down to the mat. Keep the knees nice and wide. We'll go straight into the other side. Right palm plants. On your next inhale, take the left arm out or up. And then as you exhale, left hand underneath right. See if you can lower left ear, left shoulder to the floor. Again, you might have to keep the hips more centered over the knees, or if accessible for something a little different, press the hips more back towards the heels. And then I'll just take you to a little bit different version of this stretch on the shoulder, but do what is most accessible for your knees. For a bit more, come up onto your right fingertips as if you were trying to look underneath your right armpit. Then I'll begin to move you a little deeper towards the back of the left shoulder. Got a few more breaths here. Return the right palm back to the mat. Press down into your right palm. Slowly start to unwind. Left arm comes out, maybe up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, left hand back down to the floor. From here, we're going to come to a wide knee child's pose. You might take the knees inwards a little bit more under your hips if having them super wide was starting to be a bit too much. And then pressing your hips any amount back towards your heels. Maybe placing a block or a blanket underneath your hips, or even a blanket between your knees can give you a little more accessibility if you've got tighter knees and hips. Let the forehead rest towards the floor. Let the shoulders fall heavy, soften the arms and elbows. Good, now from here, you're going to stay in your child's pose, just a few more breaths. Keeping your left arm extended forwards. Slide your right hand back, and you're just slowly bringing the back of the right hand to the small of your back, letting the right elbow and right shoulder fall heavy towards the mat. Good, go ahead, start to release your right arm slowly until you can re-extend your right arm forward, and then you'll switch sides. Start to slide the left palm back until you can place the back of the left hand at the small of the back, and then allow the left shoulder, left elbow to fall heavy. Good, next inhale, start to release the left hand, slowly re-extending your left arm forwards. Pressing now into both palms, start to shift your weight forwards. We're going to return to a neutral tabletop, adjusting your hands back under your shoulders, and then bringing your knees back in under your hips. You might tuck the toes, take a couple little rocks back and forth, stretching the arches of the feet. And then from here, we'll come to down dog, keeping the toes tucked. Press your hips back towards your heels. Press your palms down and forwards. Keep traction going forwards as you slowly start to lift the knees. So as you press the palms forwards, you press the hips back, and you create an A shape with the body. Don't worry about getting the heels to the ground or your legs straight. You want to work on finding the straightness in the back first, and then the legs kind of come over time. Keep pressing the palms down and forwards, and think about pressing your heart towards your thighs. Take a full deep breath in, and a nice long breath out. Now take a little bit deeper bend in both knees. Look to the top of your mat between your hands, and start to take a little walk forwards, slowly walking the feet to the top of the mat. Once your feet reach your hands, you'll come back to your halfway lift. Hands to shins or thighs, flat spine, chest forwards. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, another standing forward fold. Belly out over thighs, head and shoulders hangs heavy off the knees. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Root to rise, ground down through your feet. Inhale, circle your arms. We'll come back up to stand. Lead with the heart. Reach up, stretch up. Connect your palms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. We're going to do something similar on the second side, but change it just a little bit. Inhale, circle your arms here. One half sun salutation. Exhale, bend the knees. Half forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Refold it, exhale. Inhale, circle the arms, come up to stand. Use the legs, use the feet, use the glutes. Hands to the heart, exhale. Good, again, inhale, circle. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Lunge on your left, big bend in the knees, hands to mat or blocks. Step your right foot to the back of your mat, nice long lunge. Make sure your left knee is over your left ankle, your left heel is on the floor. And then from there, set the right knee down. Again, feel free to pad up the right knee. maybe a blanket, maybe doubling your mat. And then take your left hand onto your left knee or thigh, your right hand on top, press the thigh down and away, lift your chest. Shoulders over hips, engage the glutes. Again, imagine you were drawing your right knee towards your left heel towards your right knee. That'll engage the inner thighs, help with the lift. Next, inhale, start by circling your right arm overhead, then the left. Full breath in Anjaneyasana, fingertips reaching high. Good, breath in. As you exhale, full fingertips to the floor. Slide your left knee back to meet your right. Come to tabletop. We'll take 4 rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, heart forward, belly down, tail up. Exhale, tucking your tail round through your spine. Press the floor away, chin to chest. Again, 3 breaths here. Good, couple more. Take 1 more full round of your cat-cow. The breath cycle will end on your cat. Your inhale will find neutral. Your exhale, we're going to come to child's pose just as a transition. You'll start to press your hips back towards your heels. As you do, begin to walk your hands back towards your knees. From there, let the upper body lift halfway. You'll shift your knees to one side, hips to the other. We're coming to seated. Once that's seated, bring your legs around and forward out in front of you. Extend them forward just for a moment. Give them a little bounce. Flex and point your feet. Circle out your ankles. Get some blood moving back through the legs. From here, we're going to come to deer pose or 90-90 on your right side. I'm going to turn to face the camera. Again, find a position on your mat that feels comfortable for you. So you might actually turn horizontally. You might stay vertical. We're going to take your right shin, bending the right knee, place your right shin so that it's parallel to the top of your mat. Not everyone can do this second part of your deer pose. So if it is not accessible for your knees, keep your left leg just like this, with a bend in the left knee, the left foot on the floor, kind of out in a wide half straddle position. If you'd like to try a second part of this, we're going to shift your weight to your right hip, right side, and bring your left leg back behind you so that the left knee, left leg are on the floor. Left heel about in line with your left knee. If that doesn't feel good, you might try bringing the left heel closer to the left hip. Everybody's bone structure is a little different on that one. Try to relax the left hip down towards the floor. Sit up nice and tall. From here, place both hands on your knees. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Take a full breath in and a complete breath out. Now with your chin to your chest, roll your right ear over to your right shoulder, letting the right ear fall heavy towards the right shoulder. You might feel the left shoulder start to pull away from your left ear. Now for a little bit more, take your left fingertips and start to walk them back behind you at a diagonal angle. So the left fingertips are going to come slightly behind the left hip, left heel. You can stay here or take your right hand now, placing your right hand on the left side of your head, fingertips just above the top of your ear. And you allow the weight of the right arm and the right palm to give yourself just a little deeper stretch in the left side of the neck. Keep relaxing the hips down so we get the hip stretch and the neck shoulder stretch as well. One more breath. And now slowly release the right hand. Return your right hand back to your right knee. Release the left hand back to left knee. Let your chin roll to your chest. Keep your head nice and heavy. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale there. Now we're going to take your left hand, hook it behind your left thigh. So you're going to use the left hand to move the left leg rather than the left groin. So you'll shift your weight slightly to the right. Use the left hand to pick up the left leg. Bring in the left leg forwards out in front of you. Set your left foot down in a half wrap straddle position. So the left knee is bent, left toes are turning slightly out. We're going to do the same thing with the right side. So now you'll bend your right knee. Both heels slightly in, both toes slightly out. Nice and wide, about the width of your yoga mat. Walk your hands back behind you. Lightweight in the hands so there's no pressure on the wrist. Windshield wiper your knees a few times from side to side. Good. Once you're even on both sides, bring the knees back to center. Come back up to seated, and we're going to switch sides. So now you'll take a big bend in your left knee. Place your left shin about parallel in front of you. Again, if having the right knee back behind you is too much for your knee, keep just a bend in the knee with the foot on the floor. If you'd like to take it further, shift your weight to the left, and we're going to take the right leg back behind us. The right heel about in line with the right knee, but again, might be more comfortable to have the heel closer to the hip, depending on your hip-knee alignment. From there, think about relaxing both hips towards the floor. Your right hip might stay elevated the whole time, and that's okay. From here, start with both hands on either knees. Bring your chin to your chest. Let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. Now with your chin to your chest, roll your left ear over to your left shoulder. Left ear to left shoulder. Stay here, or start to move your right fingertips back at a slight diagonal behind your right hip. You feel that right shoulder immediately come further away from the right ear. You can stay there, or now place the left hand on the right side of your head. Make sure you're not pushing or pulling on the head. Just let gravity and the weight of your hand and elbow do it for you. A few more breaths here. Good. One more breath. And now bring your left hand to your left knee, your right hand to your right knee. Roll your chin to your chest, let your head go heavy. Slowly start to lift your gaze back upwards. Right hand's going to go behind your right thigh. Shift your weight once more to the left. Bring the right leg around and back, setting the right foot down. Set the left foot down. You're coming back to that nice wide seated straddle. Hands will go back behind you, lightweight in the palms. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. From here, we're going to come back onto hands and knees. We're going to go through a couple more lunge flows, get a little bit more movement, a little more flowing with the breath. So from here, once again, transition back to your tabletop, facing the top of your mat. Hands over or under shoulders, hips over knees. Take 3 rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, chest forward, belly down, tail up. Exhale as you tuck, round the spine. 2 more, inhale. and exhale. Once again, breath in and exhale. Inhale, neutral spine. As you exhale, tuck your toes if they're not already. You go to another downward dog. Press your hips towards your heels. Press your palms down and forwards. Keep pressing the palms down and forwards as you slowly start to lift your knees and continue to press your hips back towards the space where the wall and the ceiling meets behind you. Walk out your dog here. Take a big bend in your right knee. Press your left heel down. And then do the same thing on the other side. Big bend in the left knee, press the right heel down. Do that one more time on each side. Good, now big bend in both knees. Look forwards. Once again, start to take small steps to the top of your mat. Once your feet reach the backs of your hands, find your halfway lift. Hands to shins or thighs, inhale. Forward fold, exhale, head down. Good, root to rise. Inhale, circle your arms, come up to stand. Give yourself that big stretch at the top. Hands to the heart, exhale. Good, we're gonna go straight into it. Inhale, circle. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Bend the knees, belly over thighs, protect your low back. Halfway lift, inhale. Lunge on your right, bend your knees, fingers to blocks or your mats. Take a big step back with the left foot. Make sure you have that nice long lunge. Right knee over right knee over right ankle, left leg back behind you. We're gonna keep your left hand on the floor or your block underneath your left shoulder. Next, inhale, sweep your right arm out to the ceiling and find a twist. Try to stack your shoulders and stack your wrists. Reach so high with your right hand that you're putting very little weight on the bottom hand, bottom wrist. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to take your right hand, bring it down underneath your right thigh, and see if you can tap the left elbow. Again, inhale, reach the right arm up. And then again, exhale underneath, tapping the left elbow. Two more like that. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Breath in and exhale it out. Good. Inhale, your right arm up into the twist. As you exhale, bring your right hand down to the floor and lower the left knee down to the floor. Re-square your chest to the mat, and then bring your right hand back to your right thigh, left hand back to your right thigh. Again, feel free to pad your left knee if needed. Press the thigh down and away and lift your chest. Good. From here, we're going to inhale, circle your left arm up to the ceiling. As you exhale, bend your left elbow and place your left palm at the base of your skull behind your head. Now inhale, circle your right arm up to the ceiling. As you exhale, you're going to open the right arm out to the right. Reverse the palm so it's facing behind you. Start to bend your right elbow and see about placing the back of your right hand at the small of your back or even towards the left hip. From there, let your head go heavy in your left palm. Imagine the left palm, we're gently lifting your head away from your neck and then heart to the ceiling. For a little bit more, you might let the hips start to come forward, but make sure that doesn't sink into your low back. Keep some energy in the legs. Knee to heel, heel to knee. Hold for 3, 2. Next inhale, you're going to release your right arm first. Slowly unwind, right fingertips to the ceiling. Good, left arm to the ceiling. And then exhale, you'll fold forwards, framing your right foot. Once you've framed your right foot, lift your back knee. Take a breath in and gaze forwards. As you exhale, step your left foot to meet your right at the top of your mat. Inhale, plunge your halfway lift. We'll go straight to the other side. As you exhale, bend deep into the knees, hands to blocks or mat. Step your right foot into a nice long lunge at the back of your mat. Left knee over left ankle. Right fingertips, right palm to your mat or block under your right shoulder. Inhale, sweep your left arm up to the ceiling, find your twist. Again, reach so high with the left arm that you have very little weight on the right side. Take one more inhale. Now as you exhale, left hand is going to go underneath your left knee and tap your right elbow. Again, inhale, take your left arm up. Exhale it back underneath. Two more, inhale. And exhale. One more time, breath in. And exhale, last tap. Inhale, left arm to the ceiling. Exhale, set the left fingers down and then the right knee down. Re-square your chest to the mat. And then bring your left hand to your left thigh. Right hand to your left thigh. Press the thigh down and away. Lift your shoulders and chest. Good. Keep sending the heart upwards, shoulders down. Inhale, circle your right arm up. Bend your right elbow, right palm behind the head, base of the skull. Now inhale, left arm circles up. And as you exhale, we're going to reverse the palm, bend the left elbow, bring the back of the hand to the small of the back, or if accessible, back of the hand to the right hip. Lift the head with the palm, but try not to push the head forwards. Let the head press into the palm itself. Heart lifting to the ceiling. You're here for just a couple more breaths. Next inhale, you'll slowly unwind the left arm. Reach it up to the ceiling. Right fingertips reach. And then exhale, you fold. Good. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Next exhale, right foot's going to step forwards to meet left. Inhaling, halfway lift. Last forward fold. Exhale, belly over thigh. Root to rise, press down into your feet. Inhale, circle your arms, come up to stand. Give yourself a big stretch at the top. Good, hands to the heart, exhale. Once again, placing left hand over your heart, right hand on top, chin to chest, maybe eyes closed. Couple breaths here to check in before we go to the floor. Feel your feet rooted into the ground beneath you. The crown of your head rising to the sky above you. Let the hands return to mountain pose, drifting away from the body. Take a full breath in, complete breath out. Circle your arms last time. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, last forward fold, I like. Bend the knees, belly over thighs. Halfway lift, inhale, chest forwards. As you exhale, we're going to come to seated. So you'll bend both knees, fingers to mat or your blocks. Step your right foot back and nudge that you can set the right knee down. And then slide your left knee back to meet it. From there, you'll let the feet swing to one side. Slowly lower your hips and come back to a seated position on your mat. Have your feet facing the top of your mat and scoot your hips down so you have plenty of space to lie back behind you. From there, come back into that seated straddle position. Your knees are bent, feet to the floor, feet, toes out, heels slightly in. Walk the hands back behind you and windshield wiper your knees. Good. Keep the feet in the same position. You're going to gradually lower onto your back, coming to one elbow, forearm first, then the other. And then from there, slowly bringing head and shoulders to the floor. Keep the feet out nice and wide. Walk the heels in towards the hips just slightly so it feels a little more comfortable. And then let the knees rest in a teepee position. Feet wide, knees together at center. From here, we're going to catch opposite elbows across your chest, forming a box above the chest itself. And begin to let your elbows windshield wiper side to side. One elbow towards the floor is your other forearm, and upper arm cross your chest. Good. Take this to a circular movement, circling your forearms up towards your forehead, around down towards your navel. Do about 4 circles in one direction, 4 circles in the other. Once you're even in both directions, keep a slight bend in your elbows. See if you can let the arms open to a cactus position, 90-degree bend. If the backs of the hands can't come to the floor above your head and they need to float, might be too much for your shoulders. In that case, the elbows in closer to your rib cage, create a deeper angle on the arms. If that's still not accessible, come to a wide A position, straightening the arms out beside you. From here, begin to let both knees start to drift to the right. Your right knee will go towards the outer edge of your mat, and your left knee will come towards the center of your mat. Little passage. You can stay here. If you're wanting a little more, take your right heel, place it above the crease of your left knee. Let the weight of your right leg draw the left knee towards the floor. You can always place blocks under either knee as well for support to make this version a little more accessible. And if you right foot lifted, return your right heel to the floor. Use your inhale to bring your knees to center. Check that the feet are still nice and wide, maybe adjusting hips as needed, and then let the knees drift to the left. This time the left knee will go off the edge of the mat, the right knee will come towards center. For more, if it's safe for your knees and hips, left heel above the crease of your right knee, weight of the left leg drawing the right knee towards the mat. Take your left foot, placing the left foot back on the floor if it was lifted. Inhale, both knees back to center, adjusting the hips to center. Heel toe your feet into neutral position. Bring your right knee into your chest and now give your right knee a hug. Think about hugging more towards the outer rib cage than straight across the chest. And then think about extending the left leg forwards. If that's too much for your low back, keep the left knee bent. Take a full breath in and a complete breath out. Good. Release the right foot, set the right foot on the floor. Draw your left knee into your chest and we're switching sides. If accessible, once the left knee is drawn in, extend the right leg forwards to the top of your mat. Good. From here, extend your left leg forwards to meet your right. If it's uncomfortable on your back to extend both legs, feel free to bend both knees. You could come back to teepee. You might just place a pillow or blocks underneath your knees to take some of the weight off your low back. Adjust your hips as needed for comfort and any other areas of your body. Coming to your final relaxation here. You might reach for props, blankets, maybe a pillow for underneath your head. Any minor adjustments, last adjustments that also feel needed for your body. To feel heavy. Let the feet fall open wide. The palms fall open towards the sky. Let your shoulders relax back and down so the heart can lift upward. Start to bring awareness back to your breath. Once again, deepening and slowing each inhale and exhale. This time, letting the soft breath be soft, almost so quiet that you can barely hear yourself breathe. Let your eyelids soften and grow heavy against your cheeks. Soften the space between your eyebrows and the skin across your forehead. Soften your cheekbones, jaw. Allow your tongue to fall heavy away from the roof of your mouth. Soften your throat, the muscles of your neck, allowing your head to be heavy and sink into the floor. Soften your shoulders, upper arms and elbows. Soften your forearms, wrists and palms. Soften each one of your fingers, letting them gently curl. Soften your collarbones, shoulder blades, and rib cage. Soften your belly, pelvis and glutes. Soften your thighs, your knees, calves, and shins. Soften your ankles, the arches of your feet, and each one of your toes. Continue to soften your breath. As your body finds relaxation and softness, keep your mind focused on your breath. Letting go of anything outside of your mat that no longer serves you. And in this way, allowing your mind to soften as well. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Next inhale, wiggle your toe, fingers. Reach your arms over your head, stretch toes to fingertips. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest for a hug. Take a moment here to gently rock the knees side to side. Giving your back a massage. And now let your body roll to one side, your right or your left. A couple of moments there to pause. And now slowly begin to press yourself up to seated. Thank you very much for joining me today and sharing your practice with me. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, evening, morning. Namaste.